Once we've decided which equation we're going to graph first, hold on. You're one step ahead of me again. Savannah, what part of this equation should we look at first? What part is going to tell us where to start our graph? The y-intercept. Remember the y-intercept is our b? Kyle. The y-intercept is our b or our beginning. Okay, so we want to begin with the y-intercept. So I find my y-axis. Find it on your paper with me. We're going to go down to -2 and we're going to plot our first point at -2. This is just like what we did for our PDN. Okay, it's just like what we did for our PDN. We're finding our y-intercept. Can you even put a box around it on your paper if you'd like to show that that's your y-intercept? And then plot that point on your graph.
Don't you plot the 3?
Kyle, why would we plot the 3 next?
Because that's the y.
That's the
M. Oh,
Do you remember what the M is?
slope.
The slope.
Y slope.
The slope or the movement, right? Remember we talked about the M stands for movement? So it shows us which way our graph moves. Whenever we have a whole number, does anyone remember how we can write it as a fraction? If I just have 3.
3 over 1.
Thank you, Kyle. Next time raise your hand, but thank you. 3 over 1, good job. Okay, 3 over 1, that tells me my rise over run is equal to 3 over 1. Okay? Exception, is it a positive 3 over 1 or a negative 3 over 1? What? Look at your paper. What do you think? Yeah, if we don't... Kyle, who did I ask? Let's let him answer, okay? So, if there's no sign in front of it, it's positive. We don't have a negative sign, so we assume that it's positive, right? We don't have a negative sign, we know that it's a positive slope. So a positive slope... Yes, Kyle?
Don't you have to change it when you put the I'm trying to like flip it and change it to -3 over 1?
Why would we flip it and change it?
Because up there it was just 3 by itself and it's a positive 3, now it's a negative 3 because you just put it as a fraction.
Are you thinking of what we do when we do our perpendicular slopes where we flip our fractions over? Yeah, so what we did here by putting that 1 over top of it, Kyle, look up here, we didn't actually change the number at all. We just turned it into a fraction so it looked like this, so it would be easier to graph. Does that make sense?
Actually, 3.
Because 3 is equal to 3 over 1. We didn't actually change anything, we just wrote it in a new way. Does that make sense? Okay. I know what you're thinking, we did that a while ago, but 3 over 1 is the exact same thing as 3. It just shows us our rise over our run. So now, we started at -2. We decided it was a positive slope, so we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3. And then over 1. Which direction over 1 should I go?
Left.
Towards the positives or towards the negatives?
Positive.
I see a lot of pointing towards the positives. We're going to go towards the positives because we went up 3 and over 1. My arms can go. And now, we can use our yardstick to draw the line. Make sure when you're drawing your line that you're going all the way to the edges of your graph, not just in between your 2 points. Okay, make sure your line extends all the way till the edges of your graph. Okay?
Okay, Michael. Cal and Kim.
Hey.
Once we have this line drawn, we can move on to our second line. Kyle, where should we start with our second line? What would be a good place to start?
Yeah.
Actually, wait, before we go there, let's take 10 more seconds and finish drawing. I see a lot of people still drawing. I want to make sure you get it on your paper. So go ahead and take 10 more seconds, draw this graph on your paper. Okay?
Nice job. Okay, you can take it for me.
Okay? Okay? Make sure when you're counting that you're only going over by each line, okay? So count over by each line that you're going. Yeah. Now now, let's use your ruler though. We use the ruler, we're gonna make that nice and straight in between those 2 points.
So what are
So
we
now
trying
make
to
a
find
straight
when we're
line.
doing systems equations? What are we trying to find? Ms. Potter said something about a girlfriend and a boyfriend or something. What were we talking about?
All right, Kyle, back to you. Where do I start with my second equation? Kyle,
Thank you, Kyle.
Oh,
Kyle,
Thank you, Jalen.
Kyle. Let's answer the question and not sass our fellow scholars, okay? Focus. I said, Kyle, where do we start?
go Cal.
Okay, so when we start,
Thank you. Where do we start?
we start with the box because the box is.
Okay, we're gonna start with the box. What do we put the box around for this equation? Y equals x plus 2. Kyle, focus.
2.
Thank you. All right, so once we put our box around our 2, we know that that is our y-intercept. It's the place where the graph crosses what?
Right?
It's the place where the graph crosses what? The y-intercept. What is the graph crossing?
What? The activity. Right. Hold up. No, this the. I just said it like 5 times.
It's called the y-intercept. It's the place where our line, this line, crosses something on our graph. What's it crossing? Jalen?
I was just going to say the line, but it was.
So, let's rewind and focus a little bit. Gentlemen, we're almost through it, I promise. Y equals x plus 2. Our y-intercept is the place where this line crosses what on our graph? What are we crossing, Lavanna? Yeah, this is our line, y equals x plus 2. We know that our positive 2 is our y-intercept. We know that it's where we want to begin. So we always begin graphing with our y-intercept. So where on my graph would I begin? What is it crossing?
You just make it, you just
Just
make
go
it like
away.
this.
What?
Yes.
Don't you make the line just like that?
That would be what we do if we don't have an x.
Oh, yeah,
But
so
we have an x, we have a slope.
Ain't that one?
ain't your slope 101?
Right. For the X though. Oh, for the Y. I'm kind of lost.
I know, I'm not sure where you went.
I know.
I wish I followed you because I'm not sure where you went.
I'm talking about your slope, ain't this one